My commanding officer in the SAS came to my location, got us together, worked in 4 or 5-man teams, sat us round, and he said, "You will go to Northern Ireland, you'll be given a list of people. The people on this list I want dead. If they put their hand up to stop a bus, that is enough reason to execute them." Now, if a British officer can give that orders, and he stated it came from the MOD and top politicians, and he gave the impression it was direction from the Prime Minister. If that occurred in 1975, do you think Tommy Robinson will be executed? He has Irish origin. And British upper class and politicians have been executing Irish people for hundreds of years. Will it stop with Tommy Robinson? I don't think so. I don't think they'll order the SAS to execute Tommy Robinson. It didn't work the first time because many of the men, some of the SAS were Irishmen. To turn round and say, "I want you to execute Irishmen," it didn't go down well. Like myself, I got Irish family. Why do I want to execute Irishmen? I got a sign-up letter to go to the Falklands War, and they said, "Is there any reason that you wouldn't go?" And I says, "Well, I'd rather kill British officers than Argentinians." Why and how are they going to execute Tommy Robinson? Why? First of all, he exposed the grooming gangs. He exposed the drug gangs. He exposed two-tier policing. When a police officer has a problem with a guy of a different religion, they got beards and things like that, and they shout at 4 o'clock in the morning, that type of people. I don't want to say in case I'm taken down. Two-tier policing. I've spoken to many police officers when I lived in Tenerife. A lot of them retire, they're chief inspectors. And they'd openly tell you that if a guy was a problem, they'd go up to the mullahs and say, "We've got a problem with such and such, or we'll deal with it." So the police weren't involved. They didn't have to go into these areas of a certain religion. Total two-tier policing. They facilitated the grooming gangs. They never stopped the grooming gangs. They knew what was going on with white little children getting raped and groomed. They knew about the drug gangs. They knew about everything, but they did nothing. "Oh, we'll go to the mullah and he'll stop it." But they didn't. But most of all, it was the Labour councillors that facilitated the problem as well. It was their areas that the little children were getting groomed. And so, how will they murder Tommy Robinson? Well, they're not going to order the SAS to do it this time. They're going to be a little bit more subtle. They'll put him in jail, and that's where he'll be snuffed out. They'll get a small group of people from a certain religion to murder him. Remember Salman Rushdie? There was a price on his head. And when there's a price on your head, the heroes, those that tried to execute Salman Rushdie were heroes. And those that tried to execute Tommy Robinson will be heroes in the eyes of the far left and a certain religion. Just to remind you why the trouble started in the late 60s. It was caused by two-tier policing, similar today. It was caused by lack of civil rights. It was caused by poverty and lack of employment in certain areas. The rundown of them areas by local authorities not cleaning the place and do nothing to help the residents. It was caused by all these things put together. So there is similarities to what's happened today and what happened in the past. Learn by history. The IRA jumped on the bandwagon of civil rights. The EDL might jump on the bandwagon of the problems today and make it more of a terrorist organization. How did the IRA and its political wing defeat the British? They stopped doing the battalion organization and went down to single cells where 4-man teams would get together in a pub. They wouldn't use mobile phones or anything like that. Just small groups of men who then took the law into their own hands and defeated the British Army and the British government. Will history repeat itself? That's what I'd like to know.